But also let me focus on Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar has been contesting the presidency since 1992. Indeed, there is really no election since 1992 that he has not participated in. He ran against Abiola. In 1999, he ran first as governor, then as vice president. In 2003, he picked a form. And that was the crisis, that was what led to the crisis between him and Obasanjo. 2007, he ran, I think he ran on AD or so. 11, he ran, came back to PDP, right? He ran, was it 11? He ran in 11 against Jonathan. 15, he ran. 19, he ran. 23, he wants to run. Haba, now only you did. A time comes when you look at it and say, it's enough. Let me be a kingmaker rather than this king. Because when people tell me that they heard from God, I've never heard from God. But you see signs of where he wants you to go. And if you keep on doing one thing or the same thing over and over again and it's not happening, then God is not with you. Leave this Abraham Lincoln story that he ran many times before he got it. He ran only 2 times and he got it. Right? So it's becoming ridiculous. And again, and this is why I respect people who say that, look, we all want the same thing. What the North wants is not different from what the South wants. Right? But we all want a sense of belonging. That is the commonality between us. How do you justify, or how do we justify to our children that after 8 years of Northern leadership, we go back and have another 8 years? Ordinarily, I'm not a proponent of zoning and stuff like that, but I'm a proponent of equity. And that takes, to me, precedence to zoning. But even beyond that, our country is in a very desperate situation today. And you need a leader that is formidable, a leader that can make things right. Not the pandering that goes on here today. What we have in Nigeria is a very disgraceful leadership. I spoke to a president of one of the West African countries, and he said to me that the problem with West Africa, and indeed the problem with Africa, is that Nigeria is nowhere to be found. This is the general sentiment. Nigeria is nowhere to be found. We're fifth the population of the continent. We are by far the most outstanding nation of the continent. But when they look, there's just nobody. This is the time to stand firm, because too much nonsense has gone on in this country. The Americans thought we would collapse by 11 or 14 or 15. They thought so, and they did their work. In a lot of instances, we have collapsed. Tell me one sector in Nigeria that is working.
Somebody needs to tell Atiku he would be a hero if he stood. It's the same problem Atiku has that Bola Tinubu has. The same problem. It's my turn. A sense of entitlement. It has to be me. It doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you. Atiku should have a candidate, a young candidate, 55. You know, in the race, everybody will know that, it is, there is no, okay, if you want to go by political lingo, though I don't necessarily agree with it, you will say that, okay, it was Bola Tinubu that produced Raji Fashola that we are all proud of. Who has Atiku put down in that mold that he cannot push forward?
As a protege.
As a protege. I wish him luck. I wish if he puts his heart in the ring, he doesn't win. Because I must think of how many million people, Nigerians, who would suffer if this should happen. Also, I can guarantee you, Sheriff, that if it is Atiku that is put in the ring against President Bola Tinubu in 2027, then I can already write the results myself. We don't need a Mukweton to put the results together.
We've done a coalition where we put 30 political parties together in 2019 and we lost. It's not about how many parties you put together, but it's about the kind of candidate you present to the people. It must be appealing enough to them to be willing to go to the ballot box and vote. It must be attractive enough to them to be willing to sustain injury like the lady in Lagos and still go back to polling unit. That is the kind of things that the opposition need, because the opposition does not have any other power They don't control the state apparatus of authority. They don't control INEC, they don't control police. And they don't control any other thing. What they need is the people. It's the people that determines what happens on election day. And if you tell me that the people are not useless, and they are not useful, and they are not a determining factor, you ask yourself question, why do they load money in trucks to buy vote? So these are critical things that the people, and the only thing that have made election rigging easier in my 20-something years of practicing multi-party democracy and being in the opposition is the fact that people don't participate. When there's mass participation, we have about something million register on our voters register today. Imagine if 30 million comes out to vote, or 40 million. It will overwhelm the system. The system has no capacity. Today, look at what terrorists are doing. Nigerian security architecture have no capacity to subdue the people in 179,000 polling units. So it is the people that the opposition have. But how can the people be encouraged enough to say they are willing to give their vote? It will be predicated on the kind of candidate that is put forward to the citizens, on what they will make them so encouraged that they needed to save this country from a sliding, from the downward spiral that is going. So it is about the people and the opposition. And you must have in that process a proper, defined strategy to be able to also deploy your resources on election day, since you are not going to be stealing for public coffers. And I tell you that this government, nothing fears them more. What is happening in all the opposition party, you think it's just happening for nothing? I am telling you, this is the first time I'm seeing that the Supreme Court judgment can be overturned by a state high court. INEC come into existence under section 133 of the Constitution. That means INEC is a federal executive body. No state court can issue an order against INEC and it will stand. No. The current INEC chairman appointment comes in line with section 155 of section 1C. So everything is a federal body. But today you have state courts issuing orders to stop the function, to overrule the federal high court, to overrule the Supreme Court. So, and you have a commission that is so deep now in their politics that also will not make you breathe well. But if the people wake up, I am telling you that day and night, these people are not sleeping.
I listened to your interview I watched it and listened to its interview with His Excellency the Vice President. And he said this will be the last time he will run for the presidential election in Nigeria. So this one will be his last. So he's running, you see. At this stage, having followed the discussions and debates across the nation, what would be the best thing that AD should do? I was thinking that he should be getting to a point where we'll be thinking about leaving the stage for younger people to contest. But he says he's contesting. So it means that everything everybody has said in the past months did not resonate with him. And if he holds onto that ground that he cannot build the younger ones to succeed him and make him a father, he's supposed to be a father at this stage and at his age. It means that nobody is ready to concede an inch at all. So if they go all out to wrestle, it may get to the point that some people will have bloody nose in the end, and the thing that will suffer will be the party. And this effort to bring a viable platform that will contest the election against the ruling party. Because if you are not strong, then you are not making any sense.
He would argue that the same point that you're making applies to the candidate that you support. Because his point is, well, you can step aside for me. If you're into the same sort of, consensus and you believe so much that there ought to be a consensus, you step aside and I'll take the ticket.
The truth is that this thing has a historical perspective. He's been running since 2003. And we respect him. He's a very strong character and politician with influence. But there's a time you will say, oh no, I've done it, let me prop other people. Yeah, but those people you are saying that should also step down for him so that he will go. Those people are coming with ideas that will promote a change which Nigerians are looking for.
Yeah, but you could make the same argument. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you could make the same argument about Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. I mean, he ran over and over and over again. And when come 2015, there was a consensus decision that he should be the one to take over. I mean, a lot of people had ambitions. I mean, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He had ambition, but he pushed it aside in order to
let me tell you what is very critical at this stage. Is you have to have a look at the ruling party that you are trying to dislodge. That ruling party is entrenched, and the president that is in office is not making any pretenses about it. He's not in a hurry to go. And if you want to challenge this kind of situation, there must be something that is different that will offer Nigerians. Because at the end of the day, it is the Nigerians that we are not considering. Those who want to contest and those who don't want to step down, those who don't want to step aside, they are not looking at or listening to what Nigerians want.
There are reports that PDP is reaching out to P2B.
Yes, why not? He was our member. In fact, if I were Vice President Atiku, I would have, in 2023, I would have said, "Now, Peter, you were my Vice President at that time. Now, I will support you." He would have been a statesman. You know, Peter is good. There are other good people.
What level of contact have you had with P2B, for instance?
Not for now, because I'm the leader of the delegation. But I've met people. I've met him. And I've met people, that are going to be the people he will refer to. And I've sat with them for hours, and we're moving step by step.
What kind
we're moving step by step. But that's not the only person. That's not the only person. We're also going to other places, but I don't want to announce before we really get there. They gave me an assignment. When I met them initially, they said, "Look, get your platform." That's why you started. The platform was too noisy. Get it right. And now I'm moving. Yesterday, we had a fantastic neck. And I was so happy because the next thing now is the convention at Ibadan in November. We'll do it very, very well. So I have a very solid platform. I can now go back to these people to say, "Look, we're set. The platform you are complaining about is now set, is now organized, is now proper, is now ready, is ready to move." And I know many of them will respond. So we're not just looking at one person. We're looking 1, 2, 3, even more. The South is full of talents.
Okay, now let's quickly take a look.
The South is full of talents.
Yes.
Agree with me?
Yes, of course, there are talents everywhere. Human resources on global level, Nigeria can raise its head.
So what I'm saying is the people who are saying they will not, no, they should give us a chance because we provide a credible alternative to what is happening. I'm not saying the president, the current APC, no, he's doing his best, but if you compare with our record, it's far, oh my God. The exchange, just check the exchange rate. Exchange rate during Jonathan, what was it? It's now 760% higher. And that one has changed the whole reality in Nigeria. Things are so expensive. People are not able to live. Things are so harsh. That's alone. Economy is the most powerful gauge. And believe you me on that one, they will find it very difficult. It's a reality.